Hello, I hope you're all doing well. This week has been one of those weeks, so if it looks like it is what it is. But if you clicked on today's video, you want to see a review on the Hermes sandals, which have kind of gone viral online. But I have heard this sandal be pronounced so many different ways. When I first did an unboxing, I pronounced it as a Chypre Sandal, which is how my sales associate pronounced it, but I think it's incorrect. Please help me out in the comments. I've heard it be pronounced like Chypre, something pre. I don't know. All I know is that they're so incredibly hard to get. They are $700 plus. I want to share a quick little review after having them for a couple weeks and wearing them quite often. And before I move on, be sure to hit that like button and let's get started. I've gotten quite a few questions about these sandals. So the first one is it true to size compared to the Oran sandals? For me personally, they do fit true to size. I am typically a 6 or like a 36 all around across brands. So that is pretty consistent for me, and the sandals that I do have are a 36 as well. So they are true to size, but they're on the spectrum of being a little bit smaller than a true to size. So just imagine like if my foot was any longer, I would probably have to size up half a size. So I have heard a lot of people size up half a size, some even do a full size. It definitely depends on how your foot fits with the sandal, but if you are ordering online, it is a little bit more difficult. So I would say at least size up half a size just to be safe. And compared to the Oran sandals, the Orans are very narrow. You know what they look like. They look like this. I'll show a picture here. But obviously the Chypre sandals are a lot wider. They're definitely more like dad sandals. A lot of people say they remind them of Birkenstocks. Another question I get is, are they comfortable? Is there a break-in period? What's the deal? So first I wanted to mention that most of the sandal is leather. So according to their website, it has a black rubber sole, which is down here, and this right here is a black calfskin insole, and then this is also calfskin right here. And I will say there is a break-in period with these because the insole is very stiff, which is great, but at the same time you are prone to getting a little bit of blisters like in certain areas. So I would say after wearing them at least 4 to 5 times for a couple hours at a time, I haven't fully broken them in yet, but I have broken them in enough where I could walk basically like the whole day and it won't hurt my feet kind of situation. But I have noticed in warmer temperatures there is more friction, and that's what really causes the blisters. Like when I took these sandals to Arizona, I was wearing them out for a few hours, and after a few hours I noticed that like the bottom part of my foot in certain areas was getting blisters just from like the rubbing. So that's pretty typical when breaking in any type of leather shoes, in my opinion. I also want to share some pros and cons. So honestly, my only con is that on my left sandal, I don't know if this is just like my sandal in particular or if this is pretty consistent across all the sandals, but there is like a little part on the stitching where it does poke my foot a little bit, like the top of my foot, or like kind of like scratches it. So I can't tell if that's like the glue that they use or if that is like part of the sandal somehow, like if it's like a piece of thread or something. When I inspect it really closely, it almost looks like a little tiny hangnail, if you know what I mean. So there's just like the tiniest little bit, but it does like kind of scratch the top of my foot. Sometimes I'll just wear like a band-aid there just to avoid it from like really scratching. I feel like I could probably just take like a little nail clipper and just clip that little piece off. It's really minor. I don't think I'm gonna loosen up any of the stitching. That is my fear though, but it's just like the tiniest little bit, and you can only feel it if you're like rubbing your finger over it. And another aspect of the sandal I could see people not being too happy about is the way the Velcro strap is. So I don't know if this is just because like I haven't worn these enough or haven't used them enough, but the leather itself is very supple. Like I said, it's calfskin, it's really soft, but when it's doubled up and velcroed like this, if you wanted to adjust the strap, let me show you what it would look like. You really don't have that much wiggle room to adjust the strap, but let's say you want to make it looser, right? So we'll just do this, for example. This little Velcro part will kind of protrude more than usual. So majority of the time, if you don't mess with it, it does lay a little bit flatter, but as you can see, it still does kind of lift up just a little bit, and that's just the way the Velcro is. So that's just like me being so nitpicky, but other than that, it really doesn't affect the way that the sandal feels on the feet. Some other observations I've noticed as I've been wearing these more, obviously my pair is white and I'm very cautious about where I wear these to because I'm not going to take these to the beach. Like there's no way, like the leather will just get so messed up, and especially with the color it would just get so dirty. But I don't know if you could see, but it definitely has creased a little bit here on both sides of the sandal, and that's probably just due to me walking in them and the way that they crease when I walk. I think that's pretty normal, but I can see it softening up a lot over time. But for me, I have been spot cleaning them after every use. I know that's so excessive. I don't do it with any of my other shoes, but with these ones, I do want to maintain them and keep them as white as I can for as long as I can. But overall, I do love them and I would recommend them, especially if you're not a fan of the Iran sandals because maybe you've seen it too much. There's a lot of people who have them, but it definitely feels more of like a fresh Hermes sandal, if you know what I mean. And again, if you have wider feet, maybe stay away from the Irans and go for this instead. And I know there's someone out there who's either thinking like, how do I get my hands on a pair of these? What do I need to do? Do I need to play the Hermes game? And honestly, I just got really lucky with these sandals. I was looking for them and my essay was like, oh no, like they've been sold out for a while, and then comes out from the back and is like, oh, like I found these in your size. So you might encounter that similar type of situation. I never know if they're being fully honest or not, but you know, I'm always just skeptical regardless. But I also know that they do drop like a select few on the website. I don't know if it's every day or what. I have heard people stock the website between 7:30 and 8 a.m. Pacific time, just like refreshing the pages, trying to see if there's any bag drops or any sandal drops. Otherwise, I would just try reaching out to your SA and seeing, you know, if there's like a wait list you can get on, or just kind of expressing that that is one of like your top items that you are looking for. But other than that, I don't have any other helpful tips, but let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you love this sandal? Do you hate this sandal? And for more content like this, be sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!